What's going on, guys? ZombifiedGamer here and welcome back to some more of This is the Police. Study racism as a disease. Tragedy on the advertising set, spotlight collapsed and director killed. Suburbs host Asian culture festival. The note appears to be gone for some reason, I don't know why. Perhaps this is the final day then, I'm not sure. It's worried me a bit now. Okay. A couple of detectives and an officer didn't show up. And those two can stay. And we immediately have a bunch of shit, okay. Literature teacher Mrs. Gunderson noticed traces of white powder on the backpacks of some of her senior students. All of them are taking drugs and come into class stoned. What is happening to our youth? I highly doubt they're actually doing drugs. As lawyer Paul Herges exited his car, he noticed some menacing guys painting a swastika on the parking lot. It looked like one of the guys had a gun in his belt. Mr. Herges added, "If you arrest them, give them my number, I'd be happy to represent them." Really? That's who you want as a client? A Nazi? I also noticed that there's no assault thing today, so I guess this possibly is the last day? If there's no information to collect for this. I'll just try and work out a plan for it. Okay, based on all the information I've collected, this could possibly work. This is the plan I've got so far. Got the snipers on the courthouse that overlooks his office, so... A truck rammed into a bank. A man carrying a gun jumped out and demanded that the truck be filled with cash. Let's go get him. Yeah, no, it wouldn't be drugs. The traces of white powder on the backpacks were just normal chalk dust from the blackboard. You don't need backup. Mrs. Ferguson walked into a restaurant and asked for some water to wash down her anxiety pill. The waitress rudely refused to help her. "Everybody has to pay, lady." Mrs. Ferguson grew enraged and grabbed the girl by the hair. "I'll teach you to respect your elders, you little shit." I guess let's go get that then. I swear Mrs. Ferguson has been in a lot of cases though. Oh shit. I guess they did need backup then. But at least they got the guy, I suppose. But if this is the final day, then it shouldn't be too much of a big deal, even though he's one of the best ones. Mr. Boyd, my inspector for labour safety, has completely lost his mind. I told him clearly when you check out of the True Colour Hotel, make sure everything passes in good order. But he just went back into the hotel and wrote a bunch of tickets. Now the owner of the hotel is wearing me out on the phone because we had a very beneficial gentleman's agreement with him. Meanwhile, the inspector just went out into the country on a fishing holiday. Please send some officers to have a word with him and make sure he learns to follow the orders of his superiors. Fine. You can have my worst 3. Still can't believe Van Dahl died though, but it should be fine. Employees and bank patrons are throwing packets of money into a truck. A man with a gun is directing them. Fill up the truck or everybody dies. Okay, let's take aim. The robber opens his jacket, showing that he's got dynamite strapped to his chest. I'll blow everybody to hell unless you get out of my way. And now we shoot him in the face. Perfect. And you did that good as well. I like how it says offender caught even though he's dead, but you know. A firefight we won't have time for. And an assault with an offensive weapon we won't have time for as well. Or we might just be able to get to it. I don't know. We'll send that lot to the firefight. I should have read that. It might have been a false alarm, bollocks. Joseph Hopper met his neighbour Sharon Roberts while she was walking Dee Dee, her chihuahua. He grabbed her by the hair and began to shout and berate her. He claimed she's gotten the smell of skunk all around the house, and her staircase is filthy. He repeatedly struck the girl and then grabbed the dog and cut its throat with a large hunting knife. A young man passing by stood up for the terrified woman, and a fight has broken out. Okay, we'll go to that. And there's a rape as well, let's look at that. "Help, Mr. Zambezi raped me." This desperate call was followed by a terrified woman's scream from the inside of a closed auditorium. The police were called by some students who were getting ready for their philosophy lecture. So that's a false alarm then. She's probably just trying to get out of doing that lecture. So no thanks. Thanks for your money, bro. A man was caught at a gas station trying to pay with counterfeit cash. He confessed and told us where he got the phony notes. There's a warehouse operating a dozen machines printing counterfeit money, and from there it goes through the port and gets distributed across the whole country. So it's quite a large operation then. I'll try to get to that. Ah shit, there's a suicide threat as well. About 15 congregants of the Church of the 13 Coming have gathered in the park, covered themselves in gasoline, and are preparing for mass self-immolation, to assist the Lord's return that he may punish all sinners. Okay. Lunatics. Fantastic. It turns out that no one touched the girl. She was unhappy with the grade her philosophy teacher gave her and decided to teach him a lesson of her own. When the professor entered the auditorium, she quietly closed the door and began to scream. Fucking cunt. At least I was right. I'll send these guys to this. Hopefully someone will be back in time for the suicide threat, but probably not. No, they won't. But at least that was done well. And so was that. Yeah, of course people died. But there's a hostage situation to get to when they're back, so... As soon as he spots the police, an old man grabs a bag filled with money and makes a break for it. Well, obviously we'll chase him. Gotcha. And there's also a theft as well. Okie doke. That's easy to handle, because I've got a lot of people coming back. 4 men, armed to the teeth, broke into the casino and demanded all the cash. Some visitors thought it was part of a big show, and with smiles on their faces, they tried to get closer to the performance. The robbers didn't take kindly to the attention, and opened fire on the crowd. Lovely. We'll send a big team for that, but we'll check out the other one first. A passerby noticed a burly man pulling up park benches and urns, and loading them into his truck. It was night, so I asked him what he was doing, and he just said the city was doing an inventory of its property. Okay, let's send a big team for this, with the SWAT. And then send the rest on theft. That should be fine. Ah fuck, there's a mass riot too. I'll have to send the weakest team. I hope they'll be good enough. Hundreds of Freiburg residents are lined up for hours outside of the mall in anticipation of the annual Midnight Monster Sale. When the store doors finally opened, the people rushed inside, smashing everything in their path. Men and women started tearing out each other's hair and gouging out eyes, fighting over irons, VCRs and other products. There are already dozens of victims and the crowd is still going wild. Come stop the bloodshed, begged a guard named Leonard Rodriguez, straining to be heard over the angry mob. Sounds like typical American Black Friday shit. But hopefully they will be good enough. Okay, that's good. Oh shit, I don't have any people left. I hope no one dies. Okay, no one died. Good. And they did it. Perfect. And some people should be back in case the other ones need backup. And they do. So I'll send those guys over there as well, since it is the final call of the day. There will be no more calls coming in. I don't think it would have actually been successful if I hadn't done that, since they're not very good. I mean, one of them is below average, for fuck's sake. And the offender escaped, but at least no one died. So, that's fine. The assault will happen at night. Make sure you arrange your forces wisely, then move in. Remember, there's no room for error. Okay. I've already set it up though, so can we not just begin straight away? Yes? Cool. Stuart Rogers was shot during the assault. Good. That was the intention. Mr. Boyd, I will not bore you with praise. You know full well how fine of a job you've done. I'd rather take advantage of this opportunity. We so rarely write letters, to touch upon what we've never dared speak of in person. Mrs. Lana Berman, I know that what I did must have hurt you. I once told you that I feel no pleasure in suffering of others, and I was not lying. So please, do not imagine I am prone to vile whims, or would ever attack you so personally. You know why I had to do it. I imagine that's why you never brought it up. I understand that this morning Kevin Paulson is taking your place. I already have a plan to get rid of him, but tomorrow you'll just have to look on in silence as he mismanages the police department. I imagine that this will be unpleasant for you, but your torments will be short-lived by day's end. I'll send you a note describing how we are to proceed. Sincerely, EC. Okay. Day 179. Mayor Rogers resisting arrest, killed in armed standoff. Freiburg police storm City Hall, Stuart Rogers killed in shootout. And Freiburg coup d'etat. Okay.
Hey, Jack. Do you mind if I take Stet's office? Your office seemed a little ratty. No offense, Jack. Jack, I don't mind the broken nose, Jack. I know you were just upset. Hey, Jack, talk to me. Jack! Jack!
Wait, so I literally just have to watch an entire day without being able to do anything. Okay, I hope he doesn't get any of my people killed. But I made $1 million, so... doubled what I wanted. Well, double what Jack wanted. So it's still successful, right? I can retire peacefully, live off the million, chill out. Mr. Boyd, ever since we first met, you have filled my mind with questions. Will we ever have a meeting of the minds? I doubt you share any of my ideals, but I've never doubted your intellect, and by now I have little doubt that you, an intelligent man, have already figured out that I can't possibly keep all of my promises. Your time is up, Mr. Boyd, even as mine is just beginning. I suppose it would be unpleasant if come tomorrow security ejects you from the building. We are better men than that. I ask that you be gone from the police station by dawn. As for the other part of the deal, not to worry, I wouldn't let you leave empty-handed. In this bag you'll find enough money to last the rest of your life. Bit of a dick move, but okay. Is it my full $1 million that I earned on my own? $1? Are you taking the fucking piss? Deputy Police Chief Martin Stett found dead, mutilated. Freeburg prosecutor Shia Broom dies of a heart attack. Freeburg winter the coldest in 60 years. So they've also murdered my deputy. What's the actual fuck? But $1 fucking dollar, really? How is that enough to live on? Can't even buy a sandwich with that. Let's see what happens next, I guess. Okay, it's a cutscene. A fucking dollar though, really? Although he's got a lot more than $1 in that bag. And he's buying some whiskey. Looks like a bottle of Jack. I don't blame you, to be fair. Down the whole thing. Fair enough.
How can I help you, sir?
I just want to go in.
Excuse me, sir, only members are allowed into the club.
Don't I look like a member of the club?
I'm sorry, sir, but the club is not accepting new members at this time.
What are you, brand new here? I'm an old member of the club. I've been a member for 30 fucking years.
I'm sorry, sir, but I think you've made a mistake.
Wow.
Have a good evening.
So not only has he lost his job, his money, he's now lost his access to the club. Fucking hell. I'm guessing that's the club he used to play poker in. Well, towards the end of the game anyway.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Why are you counting?
6.
Is he going to come back out and apologise?
8.
No. It just fades to black.
9,
Okay.
10, 11.
And he's still counting.
12, 13, 14.
Why is he counting throughout the credits? This is very bizarre.
16, 17, 18.
Will he stop?
19, 20.
Doesn't seem like it.
21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28.
It's slowly being faded out with music.
30, 31, 32,
Okay.
33,
Fair enough.
35, 36.
Well, I enjoyed this game quite a lot. It was obviously easier than the second time around. As you saw with the amount of officers and stuff I had at the end. I never failed a single investigation, so I managed to do all of those. I destroyed all of the gangs that showed up. Even that stupid abduction case that I couldn't get through before because they couldn't find frames. I completed it within the same day of getting it this time round because my detectives were that good. It's just great stuff, man. Really enjoyed this game. I'm interested to see what would have happened if I had chosen Rogers instead and let Chaff die. I'll probably reload a save and find that out on my own time. But to leave me with $1, that's just fucking harsh. Even though he had more than $1 in his bag at the end, which didn't make any sense, but you know, whatever. And I'll be starting the sequel to this game straight afterwards, because I want more. I really want more. But I don't think I'll be playing as Jack Boyd in that one, I guess, because obviously he's lost everything. He won't be the police chief anymore, so unless he becomes police chief of a different town, I'll have to wait and see when I start that game. But for now, I'm going to leave this episode and this series here. Leave a like and enjoy watching, don't forget to subscribe, and goodbye.
I got a zombie army, and you can't harm me. Yeah, hoodoo, bitch. Drink blood like a vampire without warning. Hoodoo, bitch.